Welcome you guys to Amsterdam. This is my first time in this city. I'm super excited to be here, and for today's video we are going to be following YouTubers' guides to Amsterdam. Normally when I come to a city, the first thing I'll do is I'll go into YouTube, look up all the great things to do, and follow it from there. So make sure you're subscribed and let's get started. Amsterdam is a city that is filled with a broad range of arts and culture. There are so many things to explore here, and with only having a few days in the city, I really wanted to make use of my time and find the best things to do for people who have never been here before. They say breakfast is the most important meal of the day, so I had to start this video off with something special. You can't go to Amsterdam and not try their famous Dutch pancakes. When searching up the best breakfast spot in the city, this particular place came out countless times, so I knew I had to check it out. Alright, so the first place we're gonna go that was recommended by a bunch of different travel guides is the Pancake Bakery, and that is right behind me here. Normally it gets quite a long line, so something to keep in mind, but apparently it doesn't actually take that long. So they have a bunch of different types of Dutch pancakes here. You can get the breakfast pancakes only till 12. They have international pancakes as well, that if you do happen to be here after 12 p.m, you can get these ones all day. And one of the ones is a Canadian, which has crispy bacon, onions, mushrooms, ham and cheese, and barbecue sauce. All right, so I asked her which one the most popular one people normally get is, and she said the banana and Nutella, so that's what I got. What did you get, Peter?
I got the mushrooms and ham one. I got savory.
Savory. So we have a little bit of sweet, a little bit of savory. Just finished up our meal here. Really good, very filling. Definitely recommend. First activity of the day is a canal tour, which was recommended by a lot of guides. The specific one I saw was Christina's Travels, and she recommended doing this to start off your Amsterdam day if you've never been here before. So we're doing that right now. It's 13 euros for an hour and you get to see the city. So it looks like the tours come every half hour. So the next one's at 12:30. We have about 30 minutes to wait. We just made onto the boat. We're leaving in about 5 minutes. This tour does last an hour. It feels like a very luxurious boat, which is quite nice. So basically what the audio guide is saying is that there was a housing shortage back in the day, which actually forced people to live in the canal on their boats, whereas now it's actually more of a luxurious thing to be able to do. And I believe if you want to stay in a houseboat, it's going to cost you quite a pretty penny. So kind of an interesting thing. Just finished the canal tour. That was honestly really cool. It was such a great way to see the city and get a bunch of information in one, so highly recommend. All right, so we've now come inside the central station here in Amsterdam, and we're going to be taking a train to our next activity. There are a few different ways to get around Amsterdam. One of the main ways being a bike. There are a bunch of bike rental companies. I had looked up one from Matt's Travel Tips called Donkey Republic. However, they don't have any bike rentals right in the city because we only need it for a short little while, not the whole day. But that is basically the most popular way to get around Amsterdam. So we are opting for the train. You can obviously Uber as well, but it really seems like your feet or a set of wheels are the most popular ways to get around the city. And to show you guys the sheer amount of bikes in this city, I have never in my life seen so many bikes. It is wild. So one of the more popular things to do here in Amsterdam is to visit one of their many museums. From the Van Gogh Museum to the X-Rated Museum, the Heineken Experience, and so many more. There are an endless amount of museums that you can visit here. We are actually headed to one today called the Moco Museum that we are right by it. But as we approach it, there's all this art all around us here. Right over here, you do have the Van Gogh Museum, and then right behind me here, you have a giant cause. But I feel like Amsterdam just has the coolest art culture, so it's a really fun thing to do. Apparently in Novembers, they do have museum night where all the museums are open till 2 a.m. During normal days like today's a Wednesday, middle of the week, the museums are only open till around 7 p.m. So it is kind of a day activity, but if you're here in November, kind of something to note because kind of a fun thing to do. Grab a few drinks, go to a museum, and just have a good time. We've arrived. Thank you. Made it inside the museum. It is really cool in here. So many modern art pieces. Just left the museum. That was honestly a really cool place to come and check out. There was a lot of travel guides from people from Amsterdam that actually recommended this museum, so I'm glad I came and saw it. I honestly wish I could spend a week here and see all the museums. Unfortunately, we don't have time for that. We are leaving in like a day and a half, but you need to visit some sort of museum when you come here, and especially if you come to this one. Like I said, there are a bunch of different ones all around here, so it makes it really accessible and easy. You can also buy a museum pass, so that's kind of a little trick to save money if you do want to come to a bunch of different museums. With Holland being the world's largest exporter of cheese, you have to pop into one of the many cheese stores to do a tasting while you're here. And although they're famous for their Gouda here in the Netherlands, you can find almost every single type of cheese imaginable with many different flavors. Have you ever wondered what lavender or wasabi cheese tastes like? Well, you can find out here. And being a cheese lover myself, I was in heaven. So we've just popped into one of the many cheese stores here in Amsterdam. What's really cool is you can come and do a free tasting whenever. I have never seen so much cheese in my entire life. We are going to be picking up a few of our favorites. This was definitely my favorite, so we're going to go for this guy. And what's nice too is you can actually keep it unopened like this and unrefrigerated for about 2 months. So even if we don't finish it here in Amsterdam, we can bring it to our next country. Really good. Okay, we got our cheese here, got the goods. Dutch people love their French fries, and this one particular fry place came up countless times on all of these travel guides. Now, after trying them, I do have to admit my favorite part was the sauce. The fries themselves were good, but not amazing. So this is one thing I could have gone without if I'm being 100% honest. And the last and final place that has been mentioned on many travel guides is all of the coffee shops here in Amsterdam, which, yes, serve coffee, but they also serve many other things, like this one right here called Resin Coffee Shop. So basically what those coffee shops have to offer is an array of things that you can ingest or smoke, and you just chill out. We are not going to be doing that today, but I did want to check one out because they are very popular. They're scattered all throughout the city and definitely a popular thing to do. So if you're into that sort of thing, looking to have a little bit of fun here, check it out. I truly fell in love with Amsterdam after my first visit here, and it is definitely somewhere I could see myself living. It's a young, trendy city, and I loved getting to explore all of the top recommended spots here. This is just the start of my Europe series, and there's so many more videos to come, so make sure you're subscribed, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!